Today we are in a section of the church that probably very, very few people have ever been in. This is on the fourth floor, so the very top floor. And in this little room here, there's a couple things stored in here, but there's some duct work in this room. And there is a ladder here. And I'm going to show all the way up to the top of the ladder. And this ladder leads to the roof. And I had to, last year for VBS, we were having some problems with some water on the roof issues and an air conditioner issue. And so I needed to get up onto the roof to take a quick look at it. And so I came in here and I found this ladder. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I really don't like heights that much. I'm really not a super big fan of them. And I don't like ladders very much, especially these like ship's ladders that are pretty much a straight vertical ladder all the way up into the ceiling and up onto the roof. But there wasn't any other way to get up there. And so I looked at the ladder and I had to make a decision. Did I trust that the people who built this ladder built it well, that the people who installed it made all these bolts nice and strong, that all these welds were made correctly, and this ladder, that it would hold my weight, and that I could climb up it safely? And so I'm going to show you what I did, which is I climbed up this ladder. So I am going to turn off this recording for just a second, and I'll show you what happened because I trusted the ladder. Well, and this is what happened. I'm going to look down the ladder here. As I said, I don't like heights that much. This isn't my favorite thing to do either. But you can see that's where I started all the way down there. I came up all the way up the ladder. And then I ended up here on the roof. And so because I trusted that ladder, that I could safely get up that roof, I was able to walk across the roof here. I'm going to take you on a little journey on the roof. And got all the way to over here. And you see this area right here, this little flat roof section? There's a little bit of water on there. That's not anything unusual. But it was full of water. There was lots and lots and lots of water on here, and that's not a good thing. So I was able to open up the drains up here, and because I trusted that ladder, I got up here and was able to let that water out so that we didn't get water leaking in the building, and the building was safe then. All because I trusted the ladder. I trusted that it would be safe to go up here, and I was even able to check out the air conditioning units that are up here as well, and they're kind of behind this little screen here. So I am really glad that I trusted that ladder, because if I didn't, we could have had water leaking in and could have had a big mess, and we wouldn't want that. And I got kind of a neat little view up here. As you can see, our reflection garden down there and the courtyard, and how pretty everything is, but all because I trusted that that ladder would hold me and it would be okay. And I trusted that God would get me through. God's the one that provided all these things for us, and we're so thankful for that. But we know that if we trust in Jesus, He will lead us to good places and lead us to good things and give us the ability to do whatever it is we need to do, even if it is go up a ladder that we're a little scared of, but go up a ladder and take care of a problem on the roof to keep our building safe and to keep everybody safe in our building. God gives us the ability to do a lot of things if we trust Him. If I didn't trust that ladder, would I have ever come up here? I would never have gone up here if I didn't trust that ladder. If I didn't think that ladder would hold up, I would not have gone up it. If we don't trust Jesus, what do we miss out on? Today we hear a story of Peter, and Peter is on the lake with Jesus, and Jesus comes walking across the lake. And as he's walking across the lake, his disciples are scared. They don't know that it's Jesus at first, but he tells them not to be afraid, that it's okay, it's him. And Peter says, well, if it's you, call me out onto the water to walk over to you. And here's what's really amazing. We hear about this story, how eventually Peter, well, he started to sink in the water a bit, and Jesus had to pull him up. But think about this. He got out of the boat, and it says he got out of the boat and started to walk toward Jesus. So Peter was actually walking on water. He was walking on the water to Jesus. I think that's pretty amazing and pretty incredible and pretty miraculous, and all because he trusted Jesus. When Jesus said, "Come to me, come on out here, it'll be fine. The water's fine, we'll play some catch out here, it'll be great." And Peter trusted him, and he walked out on the water. Now think about this. If Peter hadn't trusted Jesus, if Peter didn't think Jesus would take care of him, would he ever have walked on the water? Would he have ever even gotten out of the boat? So I want to remind you, and especially if you were at VBS this past week, we kept saying every day, over and over, we kept saying, trust Jesus. That was part of our theme, that Jesus has the power and the strength, the ability to accomplish anything he wants to in us. All we have to do is trust him, and trust that he will always be doing what is good and right for us. So I'm going to urge you to trust Jesus. Whatever he calls you to do, if it's to go out and help somebody in need, if it's to pray for others, if it's to tell them about Jesus, if it's to read the Bible and share the stories you learn and share God's word with others, whatever it is, maybe it's calling someday to be a missionary to Asia or to Africa or to South America, or maybe a missionary somewhere in the United States, or maybe whatever it is, whatever that maybe might be, whatever God calls you to, trust Jesus. If you always trust Jesus, you can never go wrong. Trust Jesus.